We're about to get real in this video, and you're not even going to want to miss out on 1 second of this content because I'm going to show you exactly what we are looking to expect in the next couple months and years for our economy and, of course, Bitcoin. And in this video, we are going to be delving very deep, so make sure not to miss out on one little moment. Thank you for being here with me today. On the Crypto Bliss Show, I'm Kiara DeCass. Let's rock this and roll this, guys. All right. Anyways, so I've been feeling very good. I've been feeling very positive. I've been feeling very powerful. And that's just about my life in general. Now, does that have an impact on what it is that I'm doing? Well, probably yes. Okay. Now, the thing about this is that I keep making these videos for you guys, showing you why Bitcoin is the king of cryptocurrency and why it will continue to be the king of cryptocurrency probably for the entire cryptocurrencies market lifespan, whatever that looks like. I don't know. You don't know. We don't know. But what we are doing is we're in the time best possible to make absolute massive gains. Okay. I believe that we have probably this cycle and maybe the last cycle that I would say that would have absolute parabolic gains would be around 2033. Okay, now that's 10 years away from now. That means you have 2, maybe 3 lost opportunities to gain some of the most volatile moments in cryptocurrency. From there onwards, I would say that it would probably start to stabilize because it's a bit more regulated, but it won't mean that you won't make money from it. Now, I have been enjoying this space so much, and I would like to know if you're enjoying this space so much. Let me know down below. If you love crypto, leave a fat heart for me down there. I would love to know that. Anyways, guys, I want to delve straight into this. So as you guys can see, I speak about multiple altcoins, even though we're still in a very strange place in Bitcoin and the dominance right now. So what I want to share with you is that I'm always doing Bitcoin videos. As you can see, the majority of the videos that I do are Bitcoin. And the reason I do that is because Bitcoin is number one, as I keep saying. So let's not waste one more moment of expressing this to you. Happy birthday. And actually, it was Bitcoin's 15th birthday yesterday. If you guys know much about Bitcoin, it was released by, the white paper was released by Satoshi Nakamoto on the 31st of October, which was Halloween back in 2008. So thank you for being here and happy birthday to Bitcoin. And guys, if you love Bitcoin, leave a heart with a little bit of a happy birthday, like a birthday cake or a birthday party hat or whatever it is that you want to leave. Leave it down in the comments below, guys. Thank you to all my subscribers. I truly appreciate every single last one of you beautiful beings. And yeah, guys, if you want to trade, I will show you my trades a little bit later on in the show. But if you guys want to trade with me, then make sure to hit my Bitflex link and my Bybit link down, pin in the comments below, just for you guys. Very special bonuses. Do not miss out there. We'll talk a bit about that a little bit later. But for now, I want to delve right into the information here because there is a lot of information to talk about. And if you guys see what I'm saying, Larry Fink tells us to buy Bitcoin now. You must know that this is for real. They've been buying Bitcoin for some time now. And if you haven't got onto this train, I don't know what you're going to do. You're still very early, but the time is running. Just say, use that to your own advantage. Now, with that being said, I want to share this incredible article from Luke Boyles. Now, this video is going to be a little while, so shout out to you, Luke Boyles. We are going to speak about what his price prediction is and what other people's price predictions are and how did they conclude and come to these notions of these prices. So I heard something like $600 million per Bitcoin sometime this morning on Crypto Zombie's video. So shout out to you, Crypto Zombie, as well. $3 million per Bitcoin, okay, is a 100x from today. And that is still absurdly early. Okay, do you see what I mean? So today we're sitting at around 35,000, okay? So 100x would give us to a $3 million price. I said we would hit a $3.3 million price in 2033. Now, it can probably happen a lot sooner than that, especially if the metrics that I'm about to explain to you unfold in this manner. So you are early. this is how Bitcoin goes hyperbolic, a mind-blowing thread on market cap. So shout out to you, Luke Broyles, for setting this out for the crypto community. So Bitcoin has maintained market cap of roughly 500 billion US dollars in 23. Despite being the best performing asset in the world this year, up over 100%, it is still tiny in comparison to the world's largest asset classes. Notice the orange silver sliver line at the top. Yep, that's Bitcoin. Okay, 23 market cap global assets. This is real estate. This is gold, just by the way. I'm just saying, that's just gold. Okay, equities, broad money, broad money, debt, and Bitcoin. What on earth are you guys seeing here? Okay, now keep watching because we have a lot to explain to you about this particular instance. Okay, so if you look at this, with the current Bitcoin adoption between 0.005% and 0.5%, an increase to 10% global adoption would be a 100x in users. This is what the market cap Bitcoin would appear to be with a direct one-to-one network user value, $3 million per Bitcoin. This is misleadingly pessimistic, and I agree with him 100%. If you guys keep watching my videos, okay, I keep telling you why Bitcoin is the number one asset, about to become the number one asset in the world. Go watch that video. I'll leave a link in the card up there for you guys. Prepare for the greatest bull run in history, guys. Market cap classes, asset classes, 10% adoption. If Bitcoin adopts 10% of that, that takes Bitcoin to a $3 million price per Bitcoin. This brings the the asset adoption to this chart looking here. That becomes already much bigger than gold, and that's actually maybe I would say 3 times bigger than gold. What would you guys say? Let me know down there below. So now this is the thing about market cap. So see, market cap is downward price. Market cap does not determine price, but price determines market cap. Now, what does that mean? With 100x in Bitcoin users, it is almost certain that the network would not grow in value by only 100x with this 10% increase in users, right? Or adoption. So market capitalization formula equals current market price per share times the total number of outstanding shares. That equals price, guys. And remember, Bitcoin only has 21 million, and there are something like 4 million that have been lost, and most of the Bitcoin, like 80% of the Bitcoin, something like that, is being hodled, guys. So if you don't have any context of what it is that I'm saying, well, here's an example. So for context, Bank of America believes for every $1 US chasing Bitcoin, up to $118 is added to Bitcoin price market cap. What? That means it's 118 to 1, not a 1-to-1 ratio, okay? That has risen, it has risen to 228 in brief moments. With perpetually fewer coins, will eventually become 118 to 1 will become dwarfed. It takes 93 million to move the price of Bitcoin by 1%, Bank of America says. Now, guys, if you can conceptualize that, we're saying for every $1 US chasing Bitcoin, $118 is added to the market cap. Holy moly. Now, if you think of Michael Saylor himself, he's buying billions of dollars worth of Bitcoin. So those billions are times by 118, essentially, and in high instances, 228. Conceptualize, guys. So it may happen radically. As for its first time in Bitcoin's history, we see exchange balance of BTC have sustained decline. If 100x the people are chasing 1 out of 5 the coins at any price, it would skyrocket and make market cap unfathomable. We have no model in history for this. Isn't that interesting, right? Bitcoin balances on all exchanges, as you can see, is declining. So back to 10% adoption, 3 million Bitcoin. With this, perhaps a 100x undershoot. From BOA plus 2x the currency, a theoretical $600 million Bitcoin in USD dwarfs this chart. Okay. Does that give you a crazy instance? Because from the bank, the BOA, the bank of all, perhaps, plus 2x the currency, a theoretical $600 million is in the dwarf in this chart. Sounds crazy until you realize the internet at 10% was 2000s massive growth versus old media yet early. Now, I don't want to read that for you. I don't want to read that for you for now. But basically, let us travel further where the world decides that book, you can see he did a bit of a timeline chart there, is worthy of an 80% allocation because people believe in it. Some will have 50% allocations. Some will have 99% allocations. The asset classes of today are dwarfed. This may be extremely pessimistic as market cap of downward price. Okay. Okay, let's go back there. Sorry. As market cap of downward price basically shows us that Bitcoin would inhale everything else in its comparison, right? So, and that would be with an 80% allocation. I mean, it would literally dwarf property as well. Real estate would dwarf all of them together. It looks like Pac-Man eating all of them, right? But Pac-Man. Okay, anyways, so an 80% allocation to Bitcoin may sound high for us in 2023. However, as Bitcoin is viewed as both the lowest risk and highest upside asset in a long time horizon, most will not have had to liquidate 80% of other assets to achieve this due to Bitcoin's appreciation. Now, the Bitcoin allocation in your portfolio reflects your level of understanding. I agree with him. I own a lot of altcoins. I own a decent amount of Bitcoin. I'm accumulating more Bitcoin, and I hope you guys are too. Make sure you can get to a minimum of 0.01 Bitcoin, guys. Minimum. Okay. And you can grow it from there. Not a problem. So essentially, level 1 is if you have a teeny little bit. Level 2, that much. Level 3, you have one whole Bitcoin. Now, look, I'm making my way to one whole Bitcoin, but I'm getting there very, very fast. So finally, we must consider that BTC could print the first triple point, be the first triple point asset in the world history. Store of value, medium of exchange, and a unit of account. So if true, all global productivity from technologies we cannot imagine are chasing the perpetual smaller number of Bitcoin. So triple point asset, boom, love it. I absolutely love it. So all economic value to us in 23 becomes dwarfed by 10x by the innovations and technologies of the future. Despite a productivity, housing, and energy 10x, Bitcoin absorbs 95% of the productivity and monetary value of the world. We are decades past pricing Bitcoin in fiat already. Okay, or not already, but that's what we're saying. It has now a 95% allocation, future assets and current assets. So current assets would equal that. Bitcoin would literally be the world's #1 asset. So Bitcoin goes from the tiniest asset class in our ancient world of value into the largest asset class in modern world. From 500 million humans with property rights to tens of billions and each producing orders of magnitude more energy than one does today. And it's amazing. So that's 23. That's future allocation, in other words. So I love it. And he believes that Bitcoin is going to dwarf everything as long as the network survives. Humans increase productivity. Humans increase productive. Humans price the world in BTC. Market cap remains downward of price. Guys, if true, don't get caught trying to buy or store your coins when all transaction fees on Bitcoin demand and fiat inflation are at all-time highs. So in other words, get your coins off the exchanges now. Get single set setups now. Multi-sig setups now. Now vaults now. Estate plan now. Get off zero now. Don't wait. Get yourself some Satoshis. Do you realize what this is? So shout out to you, Luke Broyles. Thanks for this incredibly awesome article. Now that brings me out to this from Mr. Bitcoin for Freedom. You're not bullish enough because gold is 12.1. I told you guys this on my video over here. Okay, go check that video out. You guys don't want to miss out on that video. You see, we're all in the alignment, especially people that know and have read the Bitcoin white paper and know about Bitcoin. We are all in alignment that we are heading to greatness with Bitcoin. Stocks are at 77.8 trillion, bonds 66.4, real estate 326. Let's say 5% of this moves into BTC, and using the bull market multiple of 818 to 1 from BOFA. 482 trillion times 5% times 180 is 2.85 quadrillion. 2.85 quadrillion divided by 21 million Bitcoin equals a $136 million Bitcoin. I don't think you guys own enough Bitcoin. I don't think I own enough Bitcoin. You know, Mr. Da Vinci, shout out to you. You own lots of Bitcoin because you got in way early. So hopefully you get to run the world and eliminate the governments that are stifling this innovation in the next bull cycle, man. So another one from Bitcoin of Freedom. 15 years ago today, Sochi published a white paper for perfect money, and only 0.1% has adopted Bitcoin. Yet this will soon change. Guys, did you hear what I just said? Did you hear what that was? Only, it's taken 15 years for 0.1% of the world's population to adopt Bitcoin. Not crypto, Bitcoin. What? That's mad. Okay. I'm getting to the juicy part, so stay with me. Stay with me, guys. I have so much. Okay, don't worry about that. My account does exist. This is the juicy part. So, if you guys haven't heard all of the world's money and markets, in one visualization for 2022. Now, stay with me because this is quite a long one, but we have so much to share with you. All right. So, I hope you guys are enjoying all the value that I'm giving you. Just, yeah, share love. Share love. All right. So, how does all the money and markets look for 2022? Now, bearing in mind, it's not 23 because we're not over with 23. So, this is the latest and most up-to-date of this. Okay. How is this visualization works? One black block, one square is $100 billion worth. So, the context that I'm going to read to you next to it gives you perspective. So peak net worth, 26 billion. Okay, so his was a fraction of the square, right? His net worth today, according to or in 2022, according to this, is still $1 billion, by the way. So why aren't FTX, taking the money away from him so that he pays for his dues and his mistakes? First thing, I just wanted to just have a little rant about that. Okay, so sports teams, professional sports teams combined, is worth $340 billion. Okay, I think it's probably worth a lot more than that. I remember La Liga was worth something like, Real Madrid itself was worth about $300 billion or something like that. So I don't know how correct that is, that one specifically, but if that's the 22 information, that's great. Cryptocurrency, okay, November 21 peak. After hitting a peak of 2.82 trillion in November 21, the crypto market has fallen to 760 billion, which was back then. We're now double this at nearly $1.4 trillion, just by the way. So double this square essentially is where we would be on cryptocurrency, which is now officially looking like it's coming up to becoming a lot bigger than the Russian economy. So Bitcoin is about to surpass the Russian economy. And guess what? It already surpasses the Ukrainian economy and probably a lot of economies around the world. And this is only now. This is not even when Bitcoin goes through all of the major adoption that I showed you from Luke Broyles. Okay. Military spending, okay, is 2.1 trillion. US is huge, the biggest spender of the world and they spent 2.1, we don't know. So 100, 2, 3, 4, 800 billion, excuse me, 800 billion. China only spent 250 billion. Everybody else is spending that. Now that's everybody else across the world combined. What the hell? What is America planning for? Are you planning for World War Gazillion? Why are you spending so much on military, guys? We know you're going to rant about protection and whatnot, but that's rubbish. It's not your place to fight the rest of the world's battles. It's your place to make sure that your economy does best. But guess what, guys? War fuels the economies because they print money so that they can buy war equipment and machines. Okay, that's a huge component of why we're expecting the printers to be turned on very soon again, and they have been printing, but it's going to get more and more and more. Coins and banknotes. This is all the currency in the world worth about 8 trillion as of then, remember. Gold worth about 11.5 trillion. jewelry, bars and coins, central banks, and other. Now, as you can see here, below ground reserves, this is believed to have, still be underground. South Africa is one of the biggest miners of gold, okay? And I have no doubt that there is probably still a lot around here. And that's why the African continent has been wildly suppressed because and extorted from international perspectives because they're mining all the minerals, the diamonds, the gold, the iron ore, all of that. I mean, we mine stuff we mine all the metal out locally, we ship it to China to get made into vehicles, to get shipped back to us, sold at a crazy premium. What the hell is that, guys? That's bullshit. All right, so anyways, world's billionaires are worth more than all the gold in the world, just by the way, but they like gold. As you can see, it's the first asset that is pretty much closest related to them. There's a total of an estimated about 2,700 billionaires, and they're worth about $12.7 trillion. I'm sure they're worth a lot more than that, no doubt. And that's let alone the Saudi kings and all of that are probably worth 1 trillion, maybe 2 trillion on their own. Okay. Now, these boys make up for this block. The rest of them make up for the rest of the block. So there are some decent billionaires in the world. And you see, it's not hard to become a billionaire, but you have to do the right thing consistently over long periods of time. And that's what these gentlemen have done so well. And I'm sure there's lots of ladies in it too. So the central bank balance sheets kind of fall in this zone. You can see America is the biggest. And as you can see, the debt in the central bank balance sheets continues to climb. And right now, we're actually sitting closer to about $36 trillion. So guys, don't be fooled. Don't be fooled. There is lots of money circulating in the world's economy. It's mostly these boys that are taking up chunks of it, owning about 12.7 of the 28, right? So they own about half the world's net worth, essentially. Maybe more. Okay, just to give you some perspective. And then the rest of us mere mortals out there only own the rest of we're talking about freaking 8 billion people essentially owning the rest of the 50% of the money. I mean, come on, guys. That's just surreal information out there. Okay, so the S&P 500. So this is the rest of the S&P 500. Then it's worth $36 trillion. Then the 10 companies on the left make up more than 25% of the index. This is how much each of the companies own. And as I showed you guys on my video here the other day, exactly why this has shifted, and it's a lot more than what it is looking like at this chart. So the US versus China GDP. So the US economy in 2021 was worth 23 trillion. We know that it's now worth a lot less, or well, a lot more than that. And the Chinese economy reached 17.7 trillion. So the Chinese economy and the US economy compete quite heavily in terms of value. There's no doubt about it. The global money supply, this is what I was talking about. So this is M1. If you guys don't know what M1 is, the total value of the world's easily accessible money is about 50 trillion. This includes the world's coins, banknotes, and checking deposits. So that's about that. 50 trillion, not 50 million, 50 trillion. Broad M2 is the total value of the world's money altogether, which includes coins, banknotes, money, market accounts, as well as savings, checking, and timing deposits. That's all that. Now, the stock markets, global stock markets, as you can see, the New York Stock Exchange made up for 25% back then, NASDAQ 18%, the Shanghai 6.2%, Euro 5.8%, Japan 5.1%, and then everybody else made up for the rest of that, basically. So, very interesting, right? I mean, the London Stock Exchange is non-existent, and yet they were one of the financial hubs of the world. Isn't that quite scary, just to say that? Nonetheless. Now, this is coming, I'm getting to the juicy part, so I hope you guys are still here with me, but this is the global debt. So this is the total amount of debt, including that accumulated by governments, corporations, and households. Together, it adds up to about 300 trillion. I'm sure that's a lot more this year, okay? Because remember, this is basically from 21, the starter. Governments are this, okay, and have increased the most out of all ballooning debt. Governments have increased their debt by 22%, Okay. Now, non-financial corporations by 16%, financial sector by 10%, households by 14%. So why are governments increasing their national debt spend? Well, they're spending money on war. Okay. Where are they spending the money? They're inflating the currency of the world so that they can take home money for themselves. And like Nancy Pelosi and others like her can take home 200K a year plus $30 million $30 million in bonuses. I mean, some of them are worth 250, $300 million already, guys. They're extorting the governments. We don't need governments. We need Bitcoin. Bitcoin is its own government, and it will run this world with economic freedom. Okay, that is the power of Bitcoin. Financial sector, households. Now, gets to the scary part, guys. Hope you're still with me. If you are, show some love. Global real estate. The value of the world's real estate is estimated to be about 326 trillion. Now, I think it's a lot more than that. I think it's probably closer on about 700 trillion. I would say it's at least double that. Residential makes up for nearly 80% of that. And China is the world's most valuable residential market and now accounts for 1/3 of the total global residential value, just by the way. Okay. Agriculture makes up for 10.8% of that at 35 trillion. Commercial is 10%, which makes up 33 trillion, which is like offices, warehouses, and all of that kind of stuff. Household wealth, okay, is now worth, according to the Credit Suisse, wealth tallies to $463 trillion. Boom, look at that, $463 trillion. And North America makes up for 34% of that. I'm sure it's a lot higher now, considering they are the ones printing. Now, the North American wealth leaders percent share, America is 29 and Canada is only 2. So America has a lot, guys. Europe makes up for about 23% of it. China about 18%. Asia Pacific 17.5%. The rest of the world, which is India, makes up 3%. Latin America or South America makes up 2.7%. And Africa, at the lowest, makes up only 1.3%. And that's why I said to you guys, Africa is a dark continent waiting to rise out of the depths of poverty. You guys don't believe me. Watch this space over the next 50 to 100 years. How Africa continues to develop itself. People are smart. They're intelligent. There's lots of information about how the African continent is rising to shine. We will come forth and create much more economic growth and stability. You will see. Now, derivatives are the craziest, guys. According to BIS, the market value of derivatives is now worth 12.4 trillion. Now, remember I said to you a little bit up here that where is it? Yeah. Sorry, not there. The world's billionaires have 12.7 trillion. Okay. All right. So let me come back down here and show you that the derivatives is worth 12.4 trillion. Okay. So derivatives, okay, is a contract between two or more parties that derives its value from the performance of an underlying asset or index or entity. So in other words, infinite amounts of money can continue to be printed out and paid out through derivatives, okay, through the printing of money, which is where like the Lehman Brothers and those get into trouble because they over leverage their business and then they can't pay back the debt and the interest with the income because the income diminishes in people's lives as well because of this scenario. So notional value, okay, the notional value of derivatives is now estimated to be about 600 trillion. And I'm pretty sure it's now close on 1 quadrillion, if not even a little bit more. So derivatives are futures contracts, forward contracts, options, warrants, and swaps. And as you can see, I keep scrolling here. Collateralized debt obligations and credit default swaps are two derivative types that are now infamous for their roles in 2008 financial crisis. Like I said to you guys, if that 1 quadrillion explodes, guys, that's 1 quadrillion's worth of debt. The world's real estate economy is worth 326 trillion. The global debt is, according to here, 300 trillion. It's far more than 300 trillion, guys. It's worth probably a few quadrillion. So we're competing with that against the global monetary supply of 82. I mean, the available is only 50 trillion, guys. It's a small fraction of what the heck is going on out there in the world. And if I come and show you, and the reason I'm showing you, drawing back to the point of the original content of this video, Bitcoin is so small in comparison. Guys, I want to show you where we are on the chart today. Okay, because I have actually a few things that I want to share with you, but let me show you quickly. So first of all, Bitcoin on the monthly time frame. Okay, congratulations. We closed a beautiful month on Bitcoin. Look at that candle. On Bitcoin, we are officially up. We closed the candle 30% up for the month, guys. Beautiful. Magnifique. Okay, now that's the monthly. Okay, now I want to draw down and show you. So this is where I actually wanted to show you the monthly. And I wanted to draw down to this chart once again. Okay, so coming back here. So basically what I wanted to share with you guys is that I'm seeing, and I drew this line for you guys a little while ago, that we would come up here and hit this 48K level. Why? Because there's a lot of resistance up there at that level, which kind of coincides with the cup and handle pattern. So we may have this month and next month pump up to this level, and then probably have a hard rejection off of that level. I would like to know what you guys think about that down below in the comments. But for now, as you guys can see, we are here at the moment at, call it 34,500. We have to get through this little bit of level of resistance, which we probably can get to. And if I have to draw, let's go back to this one. No, sorry, this one. If I have to draw for you guys just very briefly and very quickly the Fibonacci retracement level, remember Bitcoin likes the 618. Sorry, I think I did that wrong. Let's go here. Pink. Yeah. Okay. So Bitcoin likes the 618 level, and there's it there, 48K, right? Look at that level. How perfectly will it do that? I don't know. You guys tell me down below, but it's definitely going to be doing that very soon. So I want to show you the Bitcoin dominance now, because the Bitcoin dominance is a little bit scary, I must say. Normally when you look here, when you look left, even though we're at a very strong level of resistance here, if we break through this, which we currently are on the volume RSI as well, we could essentially come up to this blue line, which is about 61.5 to 62%. That would strain altcoins very heavily. It would strain Ethereum. Ethereum would lose a high position against that. Now remember, at that point, I said to you, I mean, that's a huge downsloping trend from there already, right? So we could hit that level there. But if you look left closely, we could engulf all of these candles that we basically fell down with. Remember, it likes to engulf. Okay. And if we do get through that level, we could even come up to this level, which would mean that Bitcoin could end up sitting at around 95%, guys. That would be freaking epic. That means altcoins would remain dead for a long time. Okay. Now, that could happen over a few months. I mean, that could go into 26. I don't know, guys. We don't actually know right now. So it would be nice to see liquidity flow into Bitcoin. And as what I showed you on this video is that huge liquidity will come into Bitcoin. Okay. And most of it will come into Bitcoin, not really the altcoins, but some will come into altcoins. But I want to go and show you guys my trades here. So you can see I have two of my trades are in the negative. I entered into a long ETH and I increased my position on Dodge. Okay, so those two are down ever so slightly, 2% at the moment. My Bitcoin position is at 111%. Remember, guys, we have the Federal Reserve meeting tonight. Matic, 48%, so make sure you have your stop losses in place. Shiba Inu, my Shiba Inu trade that I entered in or added more to my position has gone up. My XRP trade is now 136%. So basically, I took some profits, I added to some positions. If Ethereum falls down a little bit, that's okay. I'll add more to my position and I'll continue to buy up into this position. Now, this, as I was saying to you, the scary thing about the Bitcoin dominance is, as you guys can see here, you know, the Bitcoin chart has been sitting gently sideways And if I zoom into my daily chart here, which is why I actually had this one out for you, we had a strong buy candle here yesterday that closed above yesterday's candle, okay, which tells me that we are looking to just pull back a little bit, retest the zone just ever so slightly down here, back here. As you can see, it's been wicking down, wicking down, wicking down, wicking down, and pulling back up every single time. This has been increasing already here over the past 12 hours. And if I zoom down, you guys can see that we've got a pennant. I adjusted the pennant for us, but we're also in the sideways flag that looks like that. As you guys can see, we're just sitting right now. We're waiting. This is overextended. It's very oversold at the moment. So we're waiting for a pump up on the 12-hour, the 8-hour, the 4-hour, the 1-hour. If you guys don't see that Bitcoin is going to go up, okay, it is hitting a little bit of resistance here. It's okay. Let it do its thing for now. But guys, I hope you can see what I'm saying to you now. We're at $35,000 today, $34,000 today. I hope you guys have enjoyed this. Bitcoin has a long way to go. Thank you for being here with me. I know this video was long, but you can see why it was worth it. Much love. We'll see you on the next one. Bless, beautiful souls. Remember to click my trading links down below so you guys can go ahead and trade these cryptocurrencies with me. Love you all. See you later.